A lot of smart people don't go as far as others who are more average. Sounds strange, right? But if you pay attention, you'll see it. Intelligence can help you see further ahead, but it can also make you notice way too many obstacles. Smart people tend to overanalyze, spotting dozens of risks before even getting started, then they hesitate. They set their standards way too high, pick apart every tiny detail, and in the end, they put so much pressure on themselves that they don't dare move forward. The truth is, most smart people aren't lacking in potential. What they're missing is the ability to escape the mental traps their sharp minds keep setting up. The good news is those traps can be spotted and broken. Once you understand how they work, you'll feel freer to act, to stay consistent, and to actually use your intelligence the right way. Instead of getting stuck inside your own head, you can learn how to turn intelligence into a real advantage. In this video, I'll show you the trickiest mental traps smart people often fall into, and more importantly, how to get out of them. Stick around until the end, and you'll realize being smart isn't a burden. It can be the strength that takes you further than anyone else. So let's start with the thing almost every smart person has faced: overthinking and the curse of knowledge. Part 1. Trapped in knowledge. The paradox is, the smarter you are, the easier it is to get stuck in your own head. Instead of acting, you analyze. Instead of trying, you look for more information. And the more you search, the more you feel like you're not ready yet. This is the trap so many smart people fall into: overthinking and drowning in knowledge. Being smart does give you an edge. You can see different scenarios, predict risks, even notice flaws that others overlook. But because of that, you're also more likely to get stuck, unable to decide. Every time you want to start, your mind floods with questions. Am I really ready? Did I miss something? What if I mess it up? And so you keep putting things off. That's what people call overthinking. And when it combines with all the knowledge in your head, it turns into what's known as the curse of knowledge. The more you know, the more complicated everything seems, and in the end, you don't move at all. But here's the truth: nobody ever knows enough before taking action. Every new piece of knowledge you pick up will just open the door to more questions, and that loop never ends. Meanwhile, people who think less, who don't have all the information, tend to just jump in earlier. They make mistakes, fix them, and through that process, they actually learn faster and move further. Take Warren Buffett, one of the most successful investors of all time. He never tried to know everything about every company out there. Instead, he narrowed his focus and stuck to the areas he understood well. That simplicity saved him from information overload and helped him make timely decisions. The key point is this: information doesn't create results, action does. Knowledge only has value when you put it into practice. Even a small, uncertain step forward is better than spending hours analyzing without doing anything. If you want to break free from the trap of overthinking, give yourself one rule: gather just enough information, then take action right away. Don't wait until you feel ready or good enough, because that moment will never come. Doing the thing is what shows you what else you need, not endless thinking. And, most importantly, accept that you will make mistakes. But real-world failure teaches you 10 times faster than reading 10 more books ever could. Still, even if you manage to beat overthinking and take the first step, there's another trap waiting, just as dangerous: perfectionism. That's the voice that keeps telling you it's not good enough yet, that you need everything to be flawless before you can move forward. And that's what can keep you stuck forever. Part 2. The price of perfection. If overthinking and the curse of knowledge keep you from starting, perfectionism keeps you starting again and again, without ever finishing. Perfection sounds like a noble goal. Who wouldn't want their work to look flawless, their writing to be mistake-free, or their project to run smoothly on the very first try? But in reality, this obsession with "it has to be perfect" is what kills progress. Perfectionists usually fall into two traps. Either they don't dare start until they've prepared absolutely everything, or they start but keep tweaking, fixing, and changing things endlessly, never actually finishing. Either way, the result is the same: nothing gets done. What makes perfectionism so dangerous is that it often hides behind the mask of high standards. You think you're just pushing for better quality, but in truth, you're just stalling. Because the world doesn't reward endless preparation, it rewards results. Even a rough demo has more value than a flawless plan that never gets executed. Bill Gates once said, "Perfection is the enemy of progress." And he's right. Imagine if Microsoft had waited until every piece of software was absolutely perfect, there might not even be a single version of Windows out today. What made them successful was this cycle: build, launch, get feedback, improve. Perfectionism also creates a vicious cycle. The more you try to make something better, the more flaws you notice, the more you edit, and the more deadlines you miss. Meanwhile, the people who dare to put out their rough first version learn from real feedback and improve way faster. Escaping this sweet but deadly trap doesn't mean ignoring quality. It means accepting necessary imperfection. Your first attempt doesn't need to be amazing. It just needs to be good enough to get you moving. Real improvement only comes from doing it over and over again, never from waiting for the perfect first try. Remember this: the winners aren't the ones who make the perfect product, but the ones who finish first. And once you overcome perfectionism and accept that good enough is enough to begin, you'll see something clearly. Success isn't just about knowledge or raw intelligence. What really makes the biggest difference is how you manage your emotions and relationships with others. And that's exactly why EQ matters more than IQ. Part 3. Success isn't just about IQ. For years, people have put a lot of weight on IQ, the intelligence quotient, as the ultimate measure of success. But reality shows something different. Plenty of people who are brilliant on paper still struggle in their careers and relationships. Meanwhile, there are others who aren't exactly academic superstars, yet they achieve great things. The reason is simple. It's EQ, emotional intelligence, that makes the real difference. EQ isn't about how fast you solve math problems or how well you memorize facts. It's about being aware of your own emotions, managing them, and understanding others. In both work and life, that's what truly determines how far you'll go. No matter how smart you are, if you can't control your emotions, you'll easily lose your cool, react on impulse, or give up when pressure hits. On the other hand, someone who can stay calm, manage fear and anger, will usually make wiser decisions when it really matters. EQ also shapes how you build relationships. Think about it. You could be a technical genius, but if nobody wants to work with you, your growth will be limited. People with high EQ know how to listen, empathize, and communicate smoothly. They build trust, foster teamwork, and naturally attract more opportunities. Daniel Goleman, the author of Emotional Intelligence, found in a famous study that EQ accounts for up to 90% of what sets top leaders apart, not IQ. And real life proves this too. The most successful CEOs, entrepreneurs, and leaders aren't necessarily the smartest in the room, but the ones who manage people and emotions the best. Take this example. As a mid-level manager, you might not be the strongest in technical skills. But if you know how to motivate, encourage, and inspire your team, you'll create a group that's proactive and driven, something even the most technically skilled boss might struggle to achieve. Here's the bottom line. IQ might get you into the game, but EQ is what keeps you in it for the long run. The good news is EQ isn't fixed at birth. You can train it every day. Start with your own emotions. Whenever you feel angry, anxious, or stressed, pause and recognize the feeling instead of reacting right away. Simply naming the emotion helps you regain control. Next, practice listening more in conversations. When you truly pay attention, you naturally become more empathetic. And finally, instead of acting on raw emotions, learn to respond thoughtfully, choosing words and actions that serve your long-term goals, not just your short-term feelings. As you build your EQ, you'll notice real changes. You'll handle pressure more calmly, connect better with others, and strengthen your relationships. But no matter how important EQ is, it's still just the foundation. To turn emotions and connections into real results, you need one more thing: persistence, the willingness to take action day after day. And that brings us to the age-old question: what matters more, natural talent or consistent effort? Final part. Talent is just the starting point. For many people, success seems to be all about talent. They believe only those who are born smart, skillful, or gifted can go far. But reality shows the opposite. Talent might give you an early advantage, but it's effort that decides how far you actually go. Just look around. How many people were praised as gifted when they were kids but ended up not achieving anything remarkable? And at the same time, plenty of people started out average or even behind others. But thanks to persistence, discipline, and grit, they kept improving little by little and eventually surpassed the rest. Effort doesn't just sharpen your skills, it also builds resilience, something pure talent can never give you. Talent might help you win a few quick rounds, but effort is what keeps you in the game long term and stops you from breaking under pressure. Science backs this up too. Psychologists call it grit, the mix of persistence and long-term passion for a goal. People with high grit often achieve more than those with higher IQs or better starting points. It's effort that takes you from ideas to real success. To understand how talent and effort work together, here's a simple equation I want to share. Performance equals talent times effort squared. Think of success this way. Talent matters, but effort counts double. Effort multiplies your potential, pushes you past the limits of talent, and makes you achieve things talent alone never could. An athlete might be naturally gifted, but without consistent training, they won't win big competitions. We've all seen athletes with huge potential who never succeeded because they lacked effort and discipline. On the flip side, others with no special talent but endless determination often end up achieving far more. Talent is important, yes, but it's not the whole picture. You can have talent, but without persistence and hard work, you won't reach your goals. That's why people often say, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. So, how do we build effort? Build the habit of persistence. Don't only work when you feel inspired. Long-term success comes from showing up every day, no matter how you feel. Even small steps count. Break goals into smaller pieces. Set daily, achievable goals. Every little win moves you closer to the big goal and keeps you motivated without feeling overwhelmed. In life, talent alone doesn't create success. It's effort, persistence, and the ability to keep going, even when things get hard, that truly make the difference. If you only rely on talent without effort, you'll never reach your full potential. Remember, effort is the real game changer. Even without natural talent, if you work hard, success will find you. So, after this long journey, we've explored why smart people sometimes struggle to succeed. We've talked about the traps of overthinking, perfectionism, fixed mindsets, and information overload. But the most important thing I want you to remember is this: all of us can change. Nothing is fixed. The habits, thoughts, and limits we've built for ourselves are not permanent. Change the way you think, and you can change the way you act. I've made every mistake I talked about today. I used to overthink, wait for perfection, and fear failure. But the moment I decided to act, even in the smallest way, things started shifting. I realized action is the key, and the only thing scarier than failing is never trying at all. You can sit and think about all the possibilities, all the risks, but it's just theory until you actually take a step. Each step, no matter how small, helps you learn, improve, and get closer to your goals. And yes, you'll fail. And that's a good thing. Failure isn't the end. It's proof that you're trying something new, learning, and growing. So right now, ask yourself, what's the most important thing I need to do today? Don't overthink, just act. Only action brings results. Don't let fear, perfection, or too much information hold you back. Step out and start. I believe you'll stumble, but I also believe you'll make it. Share your story with me in the comments, and if this video was helpful, don't forget to like and share so others can start taking action too. Subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the next videos. Thank you for watching, and I wish you a journey full of inspiration.